we've got winners finals here. We've got Pi facing off against Astr0Ninja. We've got the long-running champ, and we've got the one looking to dethrone him.
Both undefeated in their sets so far.
Both definitely looking to try to make that grand finals advantage position. But only one can take it. Only one can claim it. And I'm curious to see who's going to be that one. Astro has, as we've seen, demonstrated a flawless max brass. Like you just said, went 3-0 in both of his matches. Pixel has yet to come across a true opposer to him, as Emperor and Prince have both put up their best fights possible, but it has not been enough. One of these two are going to have their perfect record taken. Possibly both.
We'll see how it goes, because I mean, before Pixel was up against royalty, but now we're looking at killing a god, so it is going to be an interesting matchup for sure. We're going to see if Astro, thank you, I worked really hard thinking on that. So we're gonna see if now my rhythm's messed up. We're gonna find out if Astro can just beat Clapback. That's what we're gonna see now.
Classic anime finale coming on here. This has all been like a JRPG.
You know, our ARMS is a bit like a JRPG in a way.
It can be. It definitely can be.
It can be, yeah.
I've personally look at ARMS as a deck building game, or to a degree a deck builder. There's a lot of customization. There's a lot that goes into, like, before you've even stepped into the ring.
You know, I had never considered that before, but it is very similar to a deck builder where you have to, you know, think about what you're going to end up seeing and what your tools are going to be to defeat it. That is such an apt description.
Indeed. It's personally one of my favorite ways to look and talk about ARMS. Just because, like, there is a lot that goes into the gameplay and the fighting that happens. But it's very easy to forget about how important the setup is. Like, getting things built before you start your fights can very heavily determine the results.
Speaking of building before you see fights, we have Astro breaking out the coil, knowing what he is going to be coming in for against that Clapback Cobra, and just wanting to get around that ASAP.
We're seeing Astro playing very smart here. He's just holding on to the jump button. One of the best things you could do as a Dr. Coil in this matchup, just hold the jump button, because it's immediately making it so much more difficult for Pixel to utilize that Clapback. Just look at the camera angles here. Like, you see that Clapback is out, but Astro's just way above it. It is no longer obscuring Pixel in any way, and he is just an open target.
And with how Astro is just chipping away at Pixel's health, he isn't having to fight for it like we've seen in previous sets. He is doing it with ease and confidence. He is not letting Pixel do anything to get around him.
Yeah, Astro's literally playing like the pure base elements of ARMS. Like, it's something I've talked about before to a lot of newer players, that worst case scenario, this game can be played at its core rock, paper, scissors logistics. You can punch, you can shield, and you can grab. It's a rock, paper, scissors format. One beats the other, beats the other, beats the other. You don't even need to, if you are in a tough spot, those are the only three things you need to think about. Astro's just being like, I have the rock, paper, scissors so down, I'm barely even thinking of movement. I'm just holding jump and then just winning rock, paper, scissors. Look at this. He's just stabbing Pixel.
He's just standing there. He's just standing there.
Pixel managing to get a couple of hits and hasn't lost nearly as much health as the previous round. He is playing it a lot safer, a lot more smartly. Being Much more considerate in his actions. Yeah, literally just standing there. Astro literally just stood there. Like, this is a lot of the stuff that when I talk about top level, I know a lot of people have talked about, like, players are catching, or a lot of players are getting really good. They're getting really smart. This is what I mean when I say a lot of, with all due respect for a lot of these players, they are great. They're phenomenal. Table is a great player. I will not undervalue any of these players. Pixel is doing great. But when I say there is so much to learn about ARMS, Astro is just showing what I'm talking about right now. He has
absolutely, like, we talk all the time about how mobile and hard to hit certain characters are, but when you really boil it down, what Astro is doing shows that you don't need it. That is just flavor on the recipe.
Indeed. Pixel managing to just barely get a rush confirm. Astro narrowly missing the grab to balance it back out. That Pixel taunted? I don't think he's trying to taunt again, and he's just getting hit by the Scully in return. He's just taking poison as a result. I don't think this is the kind of person you could get away, like, Astro is the BM king. He will BM you to death, but also, like, you can't really get away with BMing him because he'll just have something that hard counters it. You have to respect him while he's not respecting you, and it's the most infuriating thing ever. Another thing to, like, and yeah, this is a big thing too, is just, like, one of the things that makes Astro such a dangerous player is how knowledgeable he is of rush counter game. How to, like, set up rush, how to utilize rush to be unblockable, how to be safe on rushes, how to get those deflects going. There's a lot of situations.
And I mean, right now, especially too, like, part of what makes him so good against countering it, you know, is typically you can tell what your opponent's thinking at any given time. But if I were Pixel right now, I have no idea what's going through Astro's head, just because he is not putting in that mobility to show us what's in his head.
Oh, we get a good read. Is he going to get the KO? I think he gets the win regardless. He gets the KO. He does get the win. Which means that we are... I would honestly say that we're guaranteed that nobody's walking away untainted here.
No, someone is going to end up hurting tonight out of this set. We just got to find out who it is.
Indeed. I imagine Astro's going to be able to take Pixel down soon, and it's going to be neither player gets to have a perfect record here. Both have somebody's tainted either's record, and it's one of these two people. This is just even more scarier than Mausoleum was, where Astro has an even easier time just building up height. If he wanted, he could just punch down these pillars as well. Though, to a degree, it kind of makes it a little awkward for Pixel. Pixel's trying to play...
It makes it far harder to maneuver with that clapback.
Indeed. Pixel's doing a very good job of being very patient, recognizing that Astro's just trying to play a response counter game rather than making huge investments, making huge calls, which means that it is on Pixel to make the decisions and actions. And Clapback Cobra is very effective at creating a lot of very strong situations that work out well for you. But even then, like, Astro's getting a lot of really good reads and catches. Pixel is in a position that he needs to be in. He needs to keep holding that high ground. He cannot let Astro get it back as he slips by the stream and just takes him down. Second round will start out in his favor. He needed to win that first round so that he could have advantage in the second round. Because now he's got, even if he wins this one, it's just an uphill battle from here on.
Yeah, 100%. Especially being on Temple, where, you know, realistically, Astro is going to end up controlling most of the stage for the entire time they're on it. This is going to be a rough set for Pixel to end up coming back from.
Indeed. Backing him into a corner, tried to force a rush opportunity, tries again, but that one was way too greedy. We've got 2 stacks of poison, gonna clean that off by pressing the rush button. Clears away any status ailments you might be stuck with outside of shock because you don't have the arms to be able to act. I'll Astro just recognizing, you're not in range to hit me. You have to approach. And Pixel's being like, I'm not approaching. And he's like, all right, I'm going to laugh at you.
It's really incredible how much control of the matchup that Astro has just by doing the bare bones of what he has to in order to make Pixel think that he's controlling the tempo of the match.
Another strong jab. That's another 12 points of health taken away. Pops the rush, but gets blown out by a stray nade. That is all of Pixel's damage. Pixel is getting the odd trade, but where he's getting all of his damage are these, like, core rush exchanges and, like, hard grab reads. He's not getting much from anywhere else.
And just like that, that is set 2 gone to Astro. So we are heading into a set 3. And this is... We're guaranteed a set 4 with these guys.
Indeed. Both quickly hopping in. They've decided to go random. I trust the idea of having fun. I respect it. But Pixel is putting himself in such a huge disadvantage here. He needs to be making picks. If he wants to actually win this, he needs to be making picks that benefit him.
I agree, because we are just not going to get that benefit for Pixel whenever we're choosing RNG and we're landing on DNA.
Yeah. I'm glad he's having fun. But this is pretty much just him being like, yeah, Astro's won this tournament already, and he's just telling that to our face. Which hurts a little to say. It doesn't feel nice. But when we're facing a man with 3 stacks of poison because we've gone to DNA Lab, which is an incredible coil stage, because he's just letting the random take it. He's letting the high spirits take the wheel here. Like, Astro...
It would be really
Astro's just gonna time him out.
If he takes a set, though. That would be good broadcasting if he takes the set.
Indeed. But he needs to take the set, and Astro is literally toying with him. This is just watching... I'd like to say it's the 2 Bayonettas, but no, it's like a Steve. It's when you're watching Smash.
This isn't even Bayonettas and Steves. This is just cyberbullying at this point.
It really is. This is just Dio. He's just being Dio right now. He's like, oh, I have all the power and all control here. You got a hit on me? That's great. Pixel needed to go for the rush confirmed there. He's gonna go for the rush here, but that's... Yeah, Astro's not the kind of person to just, like, mash out of shield. He's just gonna wait there.
That is an easy round 1 for Astro, but this next round that we're about to see is going to end up playing out a little bit different because there are no longer the cyberbullying DNA friends for Astro to work with.
There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of them, but I mean, now there's 1 of them. They're only going to do so much.
I mean... They don't need to do much if Pixel's not closing in the distance because he keeps getting jabbed by Scullies.
That is a really good point that I did not consider, but it doesn't even seem like the one in the corner is gonna even have to do much at all.
Oh, it's doing something.
They're leaving him unbothered.
It's Astro literally pulling the gotcha. Just left it there until Pixel presses rush. He's like, all right, I'm going to go behind the pillar now.
And the rush only serves to destroy the pillar Astro walked out from it completely unscathed.
I don't know if this is an attempt to demonstrate. Yeah, there's a counter to clapback Cobra. Because
do nothing. That's the counter. Pick pillars, do nothing.
The counter to clapback Cobra is A, be Astr0Ninja. B, have the clapback Cobra just decide to stand there behind the shield and just eat Scullies. Like,
you know, I think you are also dismissing a very large part of the play, as Kid Cobra is factually a reptile. So whenever Astro is standing still, Pixel can't see him.
I completely forgot about that. I am such a fool.
He doesn't know what to do.
Back to the lab, indeed. I don't think this is working out anymore.
No, it is not. That is another win for Astro. We're off to set 4. We're going to see if the RNG ends up making a return, and if it does end up benefiting Pixel this time.
Let's see. What stages do we have that would benefit Pixel? Honestly, Sparring Ring would be like one of the few. Buster Beach is an alright option. Pixel has to be playing more proactively, and the problem here is he's just leaning into the gimmick of Clapback Cobra. He's just leaning into what is Clapback Cobra. I'm just going to play that literally. Like, I will trust the idea that he might be trying to set an example to be like, hey everybody, Clapback Cobra does have an answer. But he's also showing it again, he's showing it against Astro. And he's also, yeah, he's finally moved away from Clapback Cobra. But he wasn't doing much with Clapback Cobra. He was just sitting behind a shield. He was as gimmick character as you could get in Winners Finals.
And now, even then, it may be too late to drop the clapback, as we're now in an open stage with no pillars at all, where it is much more beneficial than what he was running before.
You could get away with a dodge like that with any other player. You just block. If you can block a rush against Astro, you block it. You don't try to be smart, because he knows what you're doing and he will punish you.
And just like that, Pixel was trying to close in, and Astro just was not having it. Now that the shield is gone, Astro knows that he can play around so much easier and just have Pixel on the edge of his seat.
The most
and
difficult...
we close out with a nice rush. That was nice in textbook. That was nice, yeah.
The most difficult thing here, and what communicates how much of a challenge this is for Pixel, is Astro is using the Scully. Now, this is not me saying Scully is a bad arm. I'm saying the opposite. The Scully is an incredibly difficult arm to use well. To be able to make it work, you have to find windows between your opponent's attacks to be able to just power through, create those windows or find those windows to get that little barb to reach in and jab the opponent.
And with how small the hitbox is, like, it is not an arm that should end up working or being effective against a clapback Cobra, and yet, here it is.
It's one of those situations where it's genuinely just showing how good of an understanding Astro has in these matchups, how knowledgeable and how capable he is at just, like, working around, countering, and punishing everything based on its, like, bare elements, where he's just able to create moments where the Scully can sneak through, double Burchuck, and get 2 stacks of poison. A lot of damage going in for Pixel. Stay up with himself with just that little bit of a lead that he still needs. Trying to go for the timeout, but Astro is just stealing away his life.
Not having it.
This is literally losing what should be like a 30-20 or a 30-70. He almost lost. Don't taunt there, Pixel. That was like, you had a 70+% chance to win that, and you almost lost. This man. Finally choosing to go, or deciding to go back to the clapback Cobra now that he's got his win. Hoping that Astro is changing his loadout, and Astro has. Double Toaster, I think it'll be a little bit better, but at the same time, this is Double Toaster. This is God of Gods of ARMS.
Right now, this is genuinely how ARMS was meant to be played. Double ARMS versus Shield Cobra. I couldn't ask for anything better. This is what Yabuki wanted.
Yeah, this is... Wait, we're forgetting one thing. We need to be on Spring Stadium so we can get Yabuki combos.
Oh, so true. If only it were legal.
Oh, gee. I wonder what could happen to make Spring Stadium legal. That would be...
I wonder if that's something that we'll ever see.
Who knows? Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and that is to glimpse into the future. We'll do that later, though. I've got a crystal ball right here, but, I mean, I'm commentating my heart out with this match. As much as this could be a good moment to glimpse into it, we still want to pay attention. There's still a lot of things going on. We got a good rush from Astro. 8 seconds left on the clock. Pixel might be able to utilize the stage to bring things to a 2-2 score. Final hit, that is going to be it.
But no, that is it. That is set 4 going to Pixel. We're going to a set 5. Finally, Pixel getting that RNG benefit that he has needed in the last 2 rounds.
Now, what stage are we going to? Is he going to be blessed by RNG, or is he going to be cursed by it?
It's going to be crazy when the RNG picks Spring Stadium and it's not even selected. That's going to go so crazy.
Fun fact, if all stages are disabled as options, it will default to Spring Stadium.
I didn't even know you could disable all the stages. Huh.
Curious as to what Pixel is plotting here, as we are going to head into our next round. The divine spirits above Lord Helix has blessed us as we are going to be heading to Valladolid.
Now this is a really interesting stage for the matchup that we're seeing with Coil and the Clapback Cobra. With it being so restricted, it is so much easier for that Clapback to go and block off parts of the stage. But with Coil's aerial ability, it may not even matter.
Yeah, this is an incredibly volatile stage. This is definitely one of Coil's worst stages. But also, against something like the Clapback Cobra, it's still Coil. If she has advantage, it doesn't matter, you're still losing. But it's one of the few places where you can actually pressure her. Also, just look at how Astro just floating up while in shield, evading that first grab. Gonna get caught by the second one. But he is genuinely just taking his time with this.
And Astro popping the rush, but immediately getting punished for it by Pixel. Pixel is bringing his A-game now that there are no obstructions for him to work against, and we are seeing the results. It's still tight, but he could bring it back.
Astro looking for one more hit. Recognizing that Pixel's a little too anxious for these punches. Misses the grab, not in a position to be able to deflect. And we are once again on match point. Out comes the rush. It is going to be blocked and punished! The Scully just like, nope. I could,
Fantastic start to the match so far.
I could just imagine the Scully every time it connects. It's just this little nope, 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 nope. Didn't happen. Nope.
Just like one of those little like bird things that just kind of like bob up and down. That is the Skelly every time it connects with Pixel. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like the little, yeah.
The water dippers.
Okay, cool. Just, yeah, the water dippers. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't like an awkward thing that the Zoomers wouldn't end up getting.
I'm a millennial.
No. I know. I got to keep it real. But I mean, if you're confused, the Zoomers are going to be confused. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But anyway, back to the match. We are seeing a lot of pressure from Coil. Pixel got the rush, but we'll see. There it is. Oh, and Astro blocks it because of course he does. That is what he does.
45 damage. Gets the deflect on both arms.
Countering
Pixel
with his own rush. And there it is. That is set 5. We have once again an Astro victory.
It might look close, but I'm gonna, with all due respect, this was a lot closer than I would have expected. I'm pretty sure Astro was just goofing off that entire time.